because they don't have legal status. So they can't work, so they have to be supported. This is all going to be paid for by us, and we will not get our damn roads fixed. We will not get our schools fixed. It's the hypocrisy of the left, Art. And I'm sorry.
That's all right. I hear you. Listen, there's a lot of truth in it, but over the years, over the history of this country, things change. As I've said before, people get fed up. Eventually, they make a change. And
you said that at the beginning of this presidency, and who would have thought of then that we'd be arguing with the Democrats saying, listen, we really don't want men in our public libraries dressed as women dancing in G-string.
Yeah, but that all
we're
piles
losing
in.
the foundations. Well, we're losing the foundation of this nation.
A lot of that has to do with the fact that our moral decline, our moving away from religion. There's a whole bunch of reasons, and you could probably go on forever talking about them. They're not exclusive to any one group or organization, but this country as a whole has had a decline, and it doesn't bode well for the future unless we do something drastically and do it soon.
Well, see, my theory kind of is when we started to lose the men and women from World War II, we started to lose some patriotism. Now, when my dad's generation, the baby boomers go, as far as I'm concerned, the patriotism is going to be just about gone. The kids today are taught to hate this country. I was watching.
No. You're getting carried away there. They're not taught to hate the country.
I was watching a show called Blackish. I love the characters on it, but the grandmother was telling the children, she'd go up and whisper in their ear, "America hates you. America hates you."
Right. Very good. Well, that's not what's happening in the schools. So don't confuse entertainment with what's happening in reality in schools.
Well,
about it. I mean, mixed. Well, all right. We're going to end on that one.
The other. All right,
Scott. Have a good one. Bye now. All right, we'll take a break. Come back. Lines are open for you. 989-752-6111. After a lot of years, buying a lot of vehicles from my friends at McDonnell Ford, I finally get to talk about them. They're my car dealer, have been for a long time, right there on M47 in Freeland. And you hear commercials all the time for car dealers. Buy our car, buy. Well, guess what? McDonnell Ford wants you to know they're doing the buying right now. You heard me right. You can sell your vehicle, and it's an easy process to begin. Take your cell phone, take 7 photos of your car. I'll tell you what those photos are, and send them to Joe at McDonnellFord.com. Now, here's what you need to take photos of: the front, the rear, the left and right sides, the car's interior, the dashboard showing vehicle mileage, and a photo of your title showing the VIN number. You will then receive an offer, and you decide whether you want to accept the offer. Payment is on the spot, and it includes all paperwork and lien release. So don't wait. Here is your opportunity to put cash in your pocket today. While you're at it, tell your friends and family about it too. Send your photos to Joe at McDonnellFord.com. That's Joe at McDonnellFord.com. By the way, mention my name, Art Lewis, and they'll throw in a free lunch with the deal. McDonnell Ford, 6790 Midland Road in Freeland, devoted to helping and serving you.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Frankenmuth Aerial Park. You're going to get half off of an adventure at the Frankenmuth Aerial Park. It's usually $43, but you are getting it for just $21.50. Fly through the air, swing through the trees, and challenge yourself on the aerial obstacle course. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, there is a course level for you. Head over to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Frankenmuth Credit Union presents the 6th annual Bay City Country Music Festival, Thursday, June 15th, featuring Jimmy Allen.
Girl, what's your name? What's your drink? Yeah, what's your
And Friday, June 16th, featuring Mitchell Tenpenny.
Cause drunk me, can't get over you.
And this year, a third show on Saturday, June 17th, featuring Nelly.
It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
Get your tickets today at KenSheltonPromotions.com. Also sponsored by J&B Boots USA.
I'm Rocky Moselle with StarRegistry.com. Since we were children, we've been told to reach for the stars. It was great advice. Now it's a great gift. Name a star after someone. For $54 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com, we will name a star after someone very special to you and send an incredible personalized gift. The new star name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Call the Star Registry, 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com for the hottest gift.
Thank you for being with 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. You've been following the Tucker Carlson saga. He was removed from the air by Fox, for probably more reasons than we know. Don't believe everything you see or read, probably missing half the story. There was a lot going on behind the scenes. But yesterday he announced that he's going to try and bring back his show on Twitter. There are some obstacles. First of all, Elon Musk says we have no agreement to do that. So first thing is he has to come to an agreement with Elon Musk on how that's going to work. Secondly, his contract with Fox prohibits him from going to work doing a show like that for another network or platform, if you will. There are questions about that, if you, because technically they're still paying him. They're paying him $20 million a year for the next few years. So it's not like he's going to go broke, but if he violates the contract, they can shut down the payments and he gets zip. Carlson hasn't said when his program would begin or what kind of content it would have. But if you look at his history, you would have to assume that it would be pretty similar to what he was doing on Fox. Ultra conservative, very conservative, and calling it like he sees it. Whether you agree with him or disagree with him, at least he didn't pull any punches. You knew where he stood all the time. It's, to me, it's a sad commentary when the newsmakers are the people who should be the news deliverers. Now, let's understand, Tucker Carlson, no matter what he might claim, I don't view him as a journalist. I view him in the same way I view myself, a talk show host who deals in opinion. When you hear me say something, it's my opinion. When you hear the callers say something, it's their opinion. It's not journalism as we understand journalism. Unfortunately, today, in a lot of quarters, opinion has filtered into what used to be considered pure journalism. In the old days, when newspapers were big and popular, you knew where the newspaper stood. I mean, a lot of them had it in their titles. There was the so-and-so Democrat, the so-and-so Republican. But you also knew that when you read the news stories, you were getting the who, what, where, when, why, how, the basics of journalism. You weren't getting opinion. You were getting the facts. If you wanted the opinion, you turned to the op-eds where the newspaper expressed its opinion and said so. It was an editorial. And the two didn't cross lines. Well, today, particularly in the world of television, that's blurred. And I lay a lot of it on the fact that these 24-hour news cycles came along. And CNN, is the birthplace of this 24-hour news on cable. They had to fill 24 hours. Well, guess what they discovered? There wasn't enough new news to keep it fresh for 24 hours. Could have told them that before they ever started. And you can only get repetitive so often, over and over and over and over and over and over again. So then they started these talking head panels. And these talking head panels were tilted one way or the other. On CNN to the left, on Fox to the right. Because they had to fill time. And that's when they really began to blur the lines between the editorial and news. And it's washed over to other networks and other organizations. So it's unfortunate, but we the people, it's what we wanted. Because we watched, we looked at it, we sought it out. You could say the same thing in radio, except there is a separation. And not many stations have news departments. Let's start with that. In the local radio world, not many stations like us are out there. We have a news department that's separated from the entertainment side. They handle just the news. They deal in facts. They cover meetings. They do all of those things. And they do so without a bias. And most local news organizations are like that. It's the nationals we talk about when we say that there's been a failure in news and a failure to do what the founding fathers originally envisioned, which was to be the watchdog on government. So here we are today. And what's in the news? Some of these opinion makers. Tucker Carlson's in the news. What's his name? Lemon was in the news from CNN, got fired. We this country has always been focused on star power. I don't know what it is, but we have this thing about star power. We love to put them up on high pedestals, and then we really love to watch them fall off those pedestals. That's what's happening with a lot of them. Anyhow, we'll see what happens with Mr. Carlson, see if he does come back on Twitter or someplace else and what kind of an arrangement he makes. He's still talking to Fox to try and get out of that contract they have. We'll take a break. Lines open for you, 989-752-6111.
What's going on this summer at Peace Lutheran School?
What's not going on this summer at Peace? They have free week-long vacation Bible school for kids on June 12th through 16th at the school on Lawndale Road in Saginaw Township. And if your child needs fun and engaging care all summer, they still have some spots remaining in the preschool community summer camp starting May 30th. Just go to the Peace website to learn more about community summer camps or to save your spot for Vacation Bible School. It's peacesaginaw.org. That's peacesaginaw.org.
Hey there, are you looking to upgrade your kitchen or bathroom? This is Sonia with Westside Decorating Center. Granite, porcelain, or quartz countertops offer both elegance and practicality. With a wide range of colors and styles to choose from, you can customize your space to your liking. Our team of experts will guide you through the selection process and handle the installation with care and precision. Ready to elevate your space? Visit our showroom at 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township or call Westside Decorating at 989-793-6182.
Planting is right around the corner. Did you remember to ask your seed dealer to apply Heads Up seed treatment? Heads Up is the best way to protect your beans against the onset of white mold throughout the growing season. It works by inducing disease resistance within the plant, and it's compatible with other seed treatments. Before it's too late, ask your seed dealer to apply Heads Up onto your soybeans today. Visit headsupst.com to learn more. That's headsupst.com.
I'm Tamron Hall. Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, with more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties: classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Is your prostate secretly being destroyed without you knowing it? All the ads for these prostate pills like Super Beta Prostate, Saw Palmetto, ProstaStream, Prostagenics, and others. Want to know which pills work and which are garbage? Now you can. Get a free copy of the new guide, Prostate Secrets, that pulls back the curtain on the prostate pill industry. Learn what is really in these pills. Which pill has over 987 adverse event reports filed against it with the FDA? It's shocking. Learn the one food to avoid that is a prostate killer, and discover the 3 so-called health foods that destroy your prostate. Get your free copy at prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery, 5 important things to do to protect your prostate, and much more. Warning, this guide is controversial and may be offensive to some readers as it pulls no punches. So go to prostatesecrets.com, prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
All right, we're back with you on WSGW. Carl's in Saginaw. Good morning, Carl.
Good morning, Art. Beautiful day here today.
Yeah, it is.
Very nice. Very nice. Getting back to this trial, this rape defamation trial that Trump just lost $5 million in. One of your callers said that Trump's lawyers were not allowed to select the jury. That's not true. It went through the normal process of jury selection, and these were jurors that his lawyer agreed to, and they were. And by the way, they were not all from New York City itself. I think one was from Staten Island. One was
Staten Island is Staten Island is part of New York City.
Right. Well, I mean, they weren't from Manhattan. Maybe I should have said that. But anyway, I guess in the larger picture is, there are cases coming up in Georgia, Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, but they haven't been tried yet.
Washington. Do you believe all of these cases and all of these different accusers? Do you believe it's all political, or do you think there is, with this much smoke, do you think there's, is it just possible that Trump really is just a liar and a cheat, and it's all coming home to roost? Or is it all political?
I would say a portion of it is political and a portion of it is Trump. He brings it on himself. And that's, I've said it many, many times. I like his policies. I don't like the guy. And I find this verdict confusing, that they did not find him guilty of what he was accused of, rape.
That was one of the charges.
Yeah, but they
did
did find
him guilty of assault. He was found guilty of sexual assault. But
I thought it was sexual abuse.
Okay, sexual abuse.
Well, that's different than
I don't
assault.
want to get too graphic on the radio here.
Well, I understand that, but
they did not prove that it went all the way, sort of thing. But still, this was a civil case. The burden of proof is different from a criminal case in something like this. But with all the cases, Art, all the cases all around the country, I mean, it's got to be more than just politics. I mean,
maybe.
Well, I think more than maybe, and I think we're going to.
So let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
There's word that they may go after Biden Hunter today and bring charges. And there's a lot of speculation that his father, the president, was involved in some of these dealings. Is that political?
Well, I'd say have the investigation.
No, they've been doing that.
There may be politics involved. I say go ahead and let's have the trial. Art.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I totally agree with that.
Art, would you agree if Hunter Biden goes to prison and Trump goes to prison? Would you agree to that?
If they were found guilty of criminal charges, yes. All right, and with that, I got to go. I'm out of time. We'll talk again,
thanks.
Carl. Bye-bye. We'll be back to close out.
Uncover up to $100,000 of riches in the Pyramid of Cash. Fridays and Saturdays in May, walk like an Egyptian into Saginaw Eagles Landing for drawings 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Lucky players every hour get the chance to climb to the top of the pyramid and win up to $100 grand. It's Pyramid of Cash, only at Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit saginaw-eagleslanding.com for complete rules and details.
Choose Garber and be a part of making better happen for our local Boy Scouts of America. And it will never cost you a penny more with the Garber low price guarantee. Eric Curtis is a senior development director with the Scouts. Eric, how would you describe what you do?
I'm a glorified storyteller. I go out in the community and tell folks about the cool things that our scouts are doing and accomplishing. Obviously raising dollars is an important part of our ability to deliver our mission. And Garber has been a huge part and a huge supporter of our ability to do that. They make this organization better every single day and every single event or activity or lesson that they are involved in.
Eric, how do the lessons of scouting make our community better?
Those translate into, adulthood. You don't just, forget how to be trustworthy or loyal or brave. Those things kind of stick with you through your life. Those lessons become more apparent every time we face an adversity or a challenge.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Frankenmuth Aerial Park. You're going to get half off of an adventure at the Frankenmuth Aerial Park. It's usually $43, but you are getting it for just $21.50. Fly through the air, swing through the trees, and challenge yourself on the aerial obstacle course. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, there is a course level for you. Head over to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
All right, that'll do it for this first hour of the Art Lewis Show. We're going to talk about adoption in the second hour. More of that coming up after the news from CBS, the National and International Report. Michael Perch in the newsroom with the local. And then we will be back with more on the Art Lewis Show. Stick around.
From the premier kitchen and bath gallery studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
The
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. George Santos is under arrest. New York's embattled Republican congressman was taken into custody on Long Island last hour on federal criminal charges, including embezzling campaign contributions, lying to Congress, and receiving unemployment benefits while he had a job and ran for office. CBS News legal analyst Jessica Levinson.
This has all happened very quickly. I think that there is some sort of smoking gun in terms of a paper trail. I think that they have somebody potentially closely aligned with him working with the federal government, and that they have documents that really will be incredibly difficult for him to rebut.
Santos will be arraigned on Long Island this afternoon. If he's convicted, he faces a prison sentence of up to 20 years on the top charge. He's likely to remain in Congress in the meantime. The Biden administration will roll out sweeping new border rules hours before a pandemic-era policy that prevented many migrants from crossing into the U.S. expires at midnight. Asylum seekers have been jamming border crossings for days. Our neighbor to the south says it'll help with that. Correspondent Cami McCormick.
The Mexican government will deploy law enforcement to its border with Guatemala and other centers in Mexico. This is hoped to reduce the number of migrants. These and other steps could happen over the next few days.
A New York writer is celebrating after a court victory over former President Trump. A jury in New York has found him liable for sexual assault and defamation and ordered him to pay $5 million in damages. The claimant, E. Jean Carroll, tells CBS Mornings,
"Hooray!" That's how I felt inside. Every blood vessel in my body jumped up with a complete and utter joy. It was a wonderful feeling.
Mr. Trump calls the verdict a disgrace. He says he'll appeal. The new CPI report shows inflation has fallen for the 10th month in a row. CBS's Jill Schlesinger.
The headline CPI rate, 4.9%. That's down from a peak of 9.1% back in June of 22.
Core consumer prices still high at 5.5%. Prince Harry scored an early victory at the opening of a new trial against UK tabloid. CBS's Vicky Barker from London.
In court papers just released, the Mirror's acknowledged Harry and fellow plaintiffs likely were victims. It's apologized, but says they've waited too long to sue over their phone hacking accusations.
Ball and Fox host Tucker Carlson's found a new platform for his show.
Twitter has long served as the place where our national conversation incubates and develops. Twitter is not a partisan site. Everybody's allowed here, and we think that's a good thing.
This is CBS News.
Find your next great hire with Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Liberty Bridge is your gateway to work, school, downtown, and the Midland Street Business District. Save time and fuel by taking Liberty to your destination. Avoid congestion at other local bridges and experience Bay City's newest, most reliable bridge, brought to you by local union workers and Bay City Bridge Partners. Tolling begins soon. For your passport to the lowest rates, create your account online today at BayCityBridgePartners.com or visit the Bay City Bridge Partners Customer Service Center at 300 Center Avenue in downtown Bay City.
SimpliSafe was named Best Home Security of 2023 by U.S. News and World Report. But we don't do what we do for the accolades. We do it to protect you and everything you love. Our advanced sensors, indoor and outdoor HD cameras, and hazard detectors are powered by live 24/7 professional monitoring, so you get emergency help fast. Get 20% off any new system with interactive monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 57 degrees and sunny at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Lilac Esch. Police continue to search for a Bridgeport Township man who went missing over the weekend. 30-year-old Robert Lee Rogers Jr. was last seen in Saginaw between 1 and 2 a.m. in the area of South Hamilton and the Rust Avenue Bridge. Family members say Rogers exchanged a text with a friend around 2 a.m., which is the last time anyone had contact with him. Rogers is described as black, 5'10" and 180 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. He wears glasses and was last seen wearing black pants, a white shirt, gray shoes, and a brown hat. There is concern Rogers may have gone into the Saginaw River. A shoe which may be his was found alongside a riverside trail by the Saginaw YMCA near the river. The Saginaw County Sheriff's Department dive team has been searching the area. Anyone with information on Rogers' whereabouts is asked to call the Bridgeport Township Police Department at 989-790-4580. Registration is now open for young people ages 5 to 18 for the First Tee Eastern Michigan summer programs. First Tee is a youth development organization helping kids and teens build strength and character through the game of golf. Participants learn critical life skills to help them grow socially, emotionally, and academically. The organization offers 6 different summer program locations in Genesee, Lapeer, Bay, and Midland counties. For more information or to register, visit firsttem.org. The Midland Area Community Foundation is accepting grant applications to distribute $1.4 million to local nonprofits. The funding comes from the American Rescue Plan Act thanks to a partnership with the County of Midland. Organizations can request between $100,000 and $150,000 through July 15th. The foundation says the grants are intended to encourage nonprofits to collaborate to serve the community. Applications will be graded on a rubric of 9 categories, including pandemic, equity, transformational, direct client impact, and more. $700,000 in grants will be awarded in August, and the remaining $700,000 will be announced in early 2024. More information can be found at midlandfoundation.org/apply. WSGW News Time is 10:07.
With Clarifly Larvicide, you get more than just a fly control product. You get more support, more expertise, and more control to prevent the emergence of nuisance flies from the manure of treated cattle by as much as 96%. It's perfectly blended in your mineral supplement to become a part of what you're already doing, feeding your cattle. Get control of flies with a comprehensive program built around Clarifly Larvicide and Starbar products. To learn more about Clarifly Larvicide, contact your local feed dealer or visit centralflycontrol.com.
Spring has sprung, and we're officially ready to rock at Shamrock Dairy Bar in Bay City. Shamrock Dairy Bar has everything all ice cream lovers are looking for. 5 different types of sundaes, hand-dipped and soft-served ice cream, floats, shakes, and more. On top of all of those delicious favorites, we're excited to introduce the first Shamrock signature item on our menu, our Shamrock Sundae. So come, satisfy that sweet tooth at Shamrock Dairy Bar in Bay City, located next to Ideal Party Store on Johnson Street.
WSGW News Time is 10:08. The first report into Oxford Community Schools' safety and security policies following the November 2021 mass shooting has been released. The report from Guidepost Solutions says the high school's current policies and procedures are satisfactory and in some cases even exceed standards. However, they also outlined areas for improvement. For example, the firm says while the district's current threat and suicide assessment practices satisfy the principles for a threat assessment process, they have concerns about sustainability. They're also recommending that threat assessment training be provided to all staff members, including teachers, bus drivers, coaches, and others who have interaction with students. Backed by popular demand, classes on how to be a grown-up. MNN's Kyle Kimball reports.
Michigan State University Extension will again offer Adulting 101 classes this spring and summer for high school students and young adults to help demystify the often obscure realities of being an adult. If sorting laundry gets you out of sorts or the idea of buying a car drives you crazy, courses like Eating Healthy on a Budget might help. The classes are taught by experienced MSU Extension educators and 4-H volunteers. Kyle Kimball, the Michigan News Network.
The University of Michigan is getting an $8.8 million boost from the federal government. The University of Michigan will receive millions of dollars in federal funding from the Department of Health and Human Services. The grant will go toward medical research in cancer, aging, lung diseases, heart and vascular diseases, and neurological disorders. $1.2 million of the funding will come from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention for the Michigan Youth Violence Prevention Center, which works to combat gun violence. When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom at 752-0790. It's 10:10. I'm Lilac Esch. Now, WNEM First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Wednesday has mostly sunny skies and a high of 76 degrees with a west wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 51, a west wind that's light, only 5 miles per hour or less. Then on Thursday, that wind only around 5 to 10 miles per hour again from the southwest. Mostly sunny skies with a high of 80 degrees. That high pressure is still continuing right through the middle of this week. Once we head into Friday, there is still that small chance of showers down towards Flint and a high of 77 degrees. Into the weekend, although we do cool down into the 60s, lower 60s by Sunday on Mother's Day, we have at least seen the rain chances going down. At this point, Saturday looking drier and lower rain chances for Sunday. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Currently, we have 63 degrees under sunny skies here at WSGW.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
We need to get on here because he's on here.
Yes, indeed. Westside Decorating Center, 5789 State Street in Saginaw. Newly expanded showroom, newly expanded product lines. Stop in and visit them at Westside Decorating Center. We're going to talk about foster care and adoption this hour. Before we get to that, I do want to take just a moment here to acknowledge something I did last night, yesterday afternoon and evening, early evening, at Michigan Cardiovascular Institute, MCVI, here in Saginaw. Ascension St. Mary's announced, and MCVI announced, a new women's heart clinic.
Yeah, we got to get on.
Doctors that spoke, one of whom is very instrumental in all this, has been on this show a few times, Dr. Nashta Shireen, a cardiologist, an intervention cardiologist. And I was invited to attend, and I did, because, if you've been listening for a while, my wife passed away in January 15th, and she passed away from a heart attack. And it was a surprise because she had never had any heart problems before. And notice I didn't say she didn't have any heart symptoms before, because I don't know, because she never spoke about it if she did. And it was one of the things that was talked about, are the symptoms are different in women than men. And if you think you have symptoms, this clinic is set up to focus on women's heart health. So I was glad I attended. I actually learned quite a bit. And congratulate Ascension on creating this women's heart clinic at MCVI. So again, if you're a female and you have any kind of symptoms, you can't figure out what they are, don't wait. Get yourself examined. You never know. Never know. And it is what they were saying yesterday, the heart is the leading killer in women in the country. So it's nothing to fool with, that's for sure. I think it took society a long time to come to terms with that and put it in the forefront, as it has been recently. All right. Another thing in the forefront is adoption and foster care. And this is National Foster Care Month. It's also a time, though, when we're in need of foster parents. So we're going to talk about that this morning with several guests who are with us this morning. And first of all, we say good morning to At.Kim Rowan from It Takes a Village. Kim, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. And also with us this morning is DeLois Leapheart. Good morning, DeLois.
Hi, how are you today? Thanks for inviting us.
Oh, you're welcome. Tell us about your organization, DeLois.
Well, by God's grace, it was founded in 2003, and we received our license to serve children in 2004. And since that time, for 19 years, the amazing staff has been doing everything they can to improve the lives of children. as our name indicates, we started out just providing adoption services, but we were licensed to do everything. And so as we got more and more established in providing adoption services, we eventually got a call from DHS and asked us to provide foster licensing services. And after we provided foster licensing services, we got a call from DHS and said, would you provide foster care services? So we expanded. And then at some point, we also expanded into providing family preservation services.
And what's the name of your organization?
Adoption Optioning.
Adoption Optioning. Okay, very good. And Kim, let me ask you about It Takes a Village. How'd that come about?
Well, last year, I decided I used to be a foster parent. I did it for 5 years. I had 45 children. I'm also an adoptive parent. And I worked for Adoption Option for a while. And I wanted to advocate for foster kids. So I created this organization, teamed up with Adoption Option and Ennis Center from Saginaw. And we did some really good things last year. We did some fundraising. We did a lot of advocate on your show we've been on and other ones. And so we're at it again this year. And we're kicking it all off this month, which is a National Foster Care Month.
And coming up Saturday, May 13th, you have a special event. Is that right?
Yes, we do. We call it a celebration, but I want to caution people that we never celebrate when a child is taken from their home. But we do need to celebrate those who work very hard and are the heroes. And I believe they are the foster parents, the kinship parents, and adopted parents. They are working with these kids. They take them in. They treat them like their own. And for this event is to really celebrate them and what they're doing. And for anyone who wants to know more about foster care, they should attend this event so that we can tell them a little bit about what it takes to be a foster parent.
Tell us about the wheres and whens of the event.
It is this Saturday, May 13th. Bay Valley Resort has very graciously donated us their ballroom. We have DJ Sean, who is donating 4 hours of his time. We're having some arts and crafts. We have some speakers, like some refreshments and drinks, but a really good time to come out with your family and just enjoy some great music and to celebrate yourselves for the great job that you do in this community.
1 to 4 p.m. is the time.
Correct.
Is there a cost?
Nope, free will. It's not a cost for anyone. We just want you to come there so that we can celebrate and hear the great things that you're doing with foster children or kinship. People don't know, but kinship means that you are related to, a lot of times related to the child that you're taking in, or you have some connection with the child when they were at home. So we just want to celebrate you for the great job you're doing.
DeLois, what got you involved in the adoption world?
Oh, that's a long story, but I'll give you the short version. It started when there are so many different times adoption has touched my life, but I'll start with when Donna Morris was a judge. There were many cases that needed a guardian ad litem, and I was a corporate attorney and volunteered to help in the cases involving abuse and neglect. That was my first, as an adult, formal introduction into, as a practicing attorney, formal introduction into the world of what happens to a child that comes into foster care. Fast forward, I later started a solo law practice, and I began doing adoptions from the attorney side. Now, attorneys in Michigan are licensed to do grandparent adoptions, relative adoptions, kinship adoptions, direct placement adoptions, but not authorized to do an adoption of a child in foster care. As I became more familiar with what was happening to children in foster care, I ran into at a DHS gathering. a booth called MARE, M-A-R-E, and that's an acronym that stands for Michigan Adoption Resource Exchange. Back then, it was a book of all the children whose parental rights had been terminated, but no one had stepped up to adopt them. These are kids typically between 7 and 17, and no one had said, I will take this child. So it was just, it hurt my heart that you have all these amazing adoption agencies already in existence before this organization was incorporated, doing phenomenal things for families, but yet you still have 300 kids a month who have no adoption in their future and whose parental rights have been terminated, so they can't go back home. And so that's when I was motivated to file the incorporation papers, and we got our license in 2004 and began offering service.
All right, both of you hang on. We're going to take a break, and then we will be back to talk more about this. But again, the Foster Care Family Celebration and Dance National Foster Care Month takes place this Saturday, 1 to 4 p.m. at the Bay Valley Resort. We'll talk more about that and foster care and adoption when we return here on the Art Lewis Show. And let me ask how you slept last night, because, you know, in today's world, we're asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed, you spend a third of your life there. You need quality sleep. You can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. You can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. If you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make the mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress factory and showroom serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Or visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call them at 989-753-1757.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks are rallying, helped by signs of inflation easing. The consumer price index rose 4.9% in the year ending in April. It is an improvement. The number was better than forecast. Core CPI was up 5.5%, also down from March. Wendy's recent quarter was upbeat. Global sales were up 10%. Wendy's says its customers were visiting less often, but spending more per check. Wendy's shares are higher. First Citizens Bank shares, the North Carolina bank that picked up parts of Silicon Valley Bank, says its performance in the recent quarter was solid. Vacation rental company Airbnb reported a better than expected quarter, but it's predicting it will see fewer bookings in coming months. Airbnb shares are down 12%. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
There are more identity threats than you realize. Even if you monitor your credit, only a little personal info needs to leak out, like your social security number or password,
for you to become a victim.
LifeLock alerts you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to LifeLock.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Hello, Michigan. I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman. We've got big news.
We're back! And you can join us Sundays at 1 p.m. as we once again go behind the mitten.
We'll take you to every corner of the state, sharing the stories that make Michigan great.
Find a hidden gem or a new favorite spot that might be located right in your hometown.
We'll go above the bridge and taste our way across the state.
Join us Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 100.5 and 790 News Radio, WSGW.
Like, what's wrong with them?
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. We're talking to Kim Rowan from It Takes a Village, and we're also chatting with DeLois Leapheart from Adoption Options about foster care and adopting youngsters. So let me ask both of you, is the foster care system broken in Michigan? Oh, look at that smile, DeLois. I can't wait to hear your answer. Go ahead.
There are parts of the system, as Kim described, where loving, nurturing, kind people care diligently for children in the foster care system. I will never forget the day that I was in a doctor's office, a pediatrician office, and I saw this woman with her adopted daughter, and we struck up a conversation, and she's the adoptive parent of more than 10 children. She's amazing. Candy Bobolek is just a phenomenal person. So there are great people like Candy who just have a heart of gold for helping children on their path to adulthood. But just like every other form or organization or existing, I guess I have to say organization, there are less than perfect people. And so when you say broken, you caused a smile because there are parts of the system that are doing amazing things for children. There are parts of the system where there are absolute opportunities for tremendous improvement. Now, some of that is already being undertaken. Right now, several of the staff of Adoption Option are in what's called a Michigan Federation meeting, where they meet with DHS and talk about how can we improve this system's ability for children. But you made me smile because God is not finished with it yet. It has a long way to go. Just like most of us do. We have made progress, but we're not where we could be. We're not where we should be. Did I answer your question, Art?
Yeah, well, you did very well. Kim?
Well, I'm going to answer in a layman's term because this has kind of become a job, but it's not my job. But I'm just going to answer it in the viewpoint of a prior foster parent and then whatever. There are things that I see that I don't like. I don't really like it when I see kids being removed from, say, Saginaw County, and now they're placed in Detroit. Some of that is that there isn't enough foster parents to place them maybe in this area. But when we take a child out of their community, I'm wondering if the child feels that's another trauma because now they're being put in places that they don't even know because that's where they have to be placed. Sometimes it's with family and that might be a little different, but is that causing a secondary trauma also where they're so far away from where their community is, where they went to school, where they went to church? So that's part of it that I don't know that I support that. I understand it, but I really would like to see kids placed closer from where they're being removed if that's possible. But we got to have foster parents that want to be foster parent. Yeah. So we have a lot of choices where we can place the kids.
DeLois?
I just wanted to really heartfully agree with Kim's point about no agency would purposely, intentionally take a Saginaw child and place them in Detroit. But Kim's point was she's having this May celebration of foster care, hoping that more people who want to serve children in Saginaw County will come to the event. Because if we have homes, no rational adoption agency, child placing agency, or DHS organization would place that child in Detroit absent some extenuating circumstances. So I hope people attend the event, and I hope that we find more homes in Saginaw. So I hope that no agency is put in the position where the only place left to place a child is out of the county.
All right, so
thank you for having this event.
So let's talk about that foster parent. What does it take to become a foster parent? And there's more than one side to this. I mean, there's the legal side, obviously, but there's also the emotional side and all of those good things. So what does it take to become a foster parent? What's the procedure?
That's
Kim?
an excellent question.
Go ahead, DeLois. Go ahead.
There are several steps. The first step is filling out an application or coming to an orientation. You don't normally see the application until you've been to an orientation, and an orientation just gives you an overview. So step one is finding out what foster care involves. Because it's a state-regulated system, there are a lot of rules that must be complied with, and the orientation gives you an introduction to that. And then after you know what it takes to become a foster parent, step two is actually start filling out the documentation. And so there are multiple documents that are both completed by the prospective foster parent and documents that are completed by the agency that helps them get their license. And in addition to the completion of those documents, once the final report is written based on all the documentations that was filled out, the last step is sending it to Lansing. And so once you send it to Lansing, it goes to Lansing with the agency's recommendation, either that this family be licensed or that they not be licensed. But then the state of Michigan reviews all the material that was collected, and they make the final decision as to whether to grant a license. If they grant the license, the first license is called a provisional license, and it's only good for 6 months. That gives the opportunity of both sides to kind of see how this works in reality. And then at the end of 6 months, if everything is going well, they can be granted an additional license that is now for 2 years. It's not called a provisional, it's called a regular license. And so those are the basic legal steps. Kim, I'll let you speak to the other steps associated with going through the process, because you've been through the process.
Yeah.
Well, we were licensed through Saginaw County, and you can be licensed through your local DHS office or Adoption Option, Ennis Center. They can license, but it's all the same thing because it's through the state of Michigan. So it's very intensive, and it should be. But a lot of foster parents get so overwhelmed by this very first process that they need to be very much supported going through that, because it's a lot of paperwork and it's a lot to go through, and it's intrusive because they're going to come to your house. You're going to have to get physicals for everyone that lives in the house. You're going to have to get background checks for everybody who's over 18. They're going to want to know where you keep your medicine. They're going to see the bedrooms that you're going to use for these foster kids. They want to know your plan for if you have a fire, how are you going to get out of your house? They want to know a lot of stuff. And for some people, that feels very intrusive. And I think we lose people maybe for that first step. So they have to be very supportive. In those 5 years, I also went into group home status. And at that point, they needed to even ask my neighbors if it was okay for me to be a group home. And so, you know, it should be, because we're asking them to do a very serious thing by taking other people's children into your home. But it's a lot. when you're dealing with the state of Michigan. It's a lot of paperwork. You have to take a class because you need to understand that these children have trauma, and that even though you're a parent, these children may not act like your children do. So you need to understand the dynamics of the children coming into your home. And you need to be sure that, is this something that I can do? Because it's not for everybody, but it's rewarding if you can.
DeLois, you wanted to say something about it?
I would love to just pick up where Kim left off, because when I talk to people about foster care, I say, imagine if for some unforeseen reason you were unable to care for your child and you did not have family that could take your child, and you were not going to see that child again. What are the questions you would ask a stranger? So as Kim describes the process as intrusive, you would ask some intrusive questions, because this is your child. If you were in the position of making the unselfish decision that I can't care for my child, what would you want to know about that family? And those are generally the types of questions that are asked during that process of preparing that report to go to Lansing, so that the state of Michigan make the decision as to whether or not to grant you a license.
We also have Bob Ennis. He was having a problem with the video side of things, but he is with us on the phone. Bob, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Tell us about your organization a little bit.
Ennis Center for Children is a foster care adoption agency, as well as many other mental health types of services we provide across southeastern Michigan. We have 8 locations from Saginaw to Monroe. That's basically all we do. Actually, always 75% of our work is foster care adoption.
And let me ask, I asked DeLois and Kim this question. I'll ask you just to get your reaction. My question was simple: was the foster care system broken in the state of Michigan? What would you say?
I would say yes. Not because of the foster parents or adoptive parents. The system is too complicated, as I just heard the ladies talking about. It should be intrusive. All those questions are exactly accurate to me. At the same time, we have children who want to be loved and want to be cared about and need people to take care of them. And the shortage of foster parents is so difficult that you need to make decisions, in my mind, locally. Further, I truly believe, and we're working on it now, and together with Kim and others, that many of these children could stay home if they had the right support system. But under the old system that's just been transferred over, you had to enter foster care before you really got intensive services. And sometimes people mistake neglect or mistake poverty for neglect. And as you're poor, things happen, and then other things happen, and sometimes you lose your children. And I think that people understand the dilemma as well. The 87+% of the kids in foster care are not there for abuse; they're there for neglect. Mm-hmm. And when Michigan, just one other quote, if I can put it, one other fact. 50% of the kids we take nationwide in the foster care do not go back to their natural parents.
Right.
They end up adopted, but they don't go back. So our system needs improvement.
Right. Bob, I'll get you to hold on, DeLois, and Kim, hang on. We'll come back. I have to take a break. But Foster Care Family Celebration and Dance National Foster Care Month takes place this Saturday, 1 to 4 p.m., Bay Valley Resort. It's a goodwill offering, and there'll be music and all kinds of good stuff, crafts, speakers, snacks, community resources will all be there. If you've ever had an interest in foster care, this might be a good place to go, because then you can talk to some of these folks who are involved.
Here comes summer. Time to hit the beach or beat the heat in the mountains.
We're taking the kids to the beach for the first time. We're so excited.
We're doing whitewater rafting this year. It looks like so much fun.
No matter the destination, MBS International Airport is ready for takeoff. With services through Delta and United Airlines, you will feel upgraded as soon as you walk through the door. Book your flight today at mbsairport.org, and we'll help you make it a summer to remember.
Who sells your soybeans overseas, increasing sales to Egypt, India, and many other emerging markets? Who has made you the #1 protein source in chicken feed? Who has made the next big breakthrough to boost your soybean yield? The answer to all of these questions is you. That's right, you do, through your soy checkoff. By pooling your resources through your soy checkoff, you are promoting your soybeans to new markets. You are discovering new practices and seed varieties to overcome your biggest challenges in the field. You have even turned $2 million of infrastructure research into $460 million per year in extra income for all soybean farmers. There is power in numbers, and you and your fellow soybean farmers are proving it by bringing tangible returns back to you and your operations through your soy checkoff. You can see all the ways your soy checkoff is moving soy forward for you at unitedsoybean.org. That's unitedsoybean.org. It's all about you doing things together as your soy checkoff.
Is your prostate secretly being destroyed without you knowing it? All the ads for these prostate pills like Super Beta Prostate, Saw Palmetto, Prostastream, Prostagenics, and others. Want to know which pills work and which are garbage? Now you can. Get a free copy of the new guide, Prostate Secrets, that pulls back the curtain on the prostate pill industry. Learn what is really in these pills. Which pill has over 987 adverse event reports filed against it with the FDA? It's shocking. Learn the one food to avoid that is a prostate killer, and discover the 3 so-called health foods that destroy your prostate. Get your free copy at prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery, 5 important things to do to protect your prostate, and much more. Warning, this guide is controversial and may be offensive to some readers as it pulls no punches. So go to prostatesecrets.com, prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com.
Maytag month has got it going on. It's all you want with the savings all month long. Baby, can't you see? Maytag month is all you need. You know you can't go wrong when Maytag month is going on.
Upgrade to the performance you need on all Maytag major appliances during May is Maytag month, happening all month long.
Maytag month is going on.
This is Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst. Every year, investors lose money because they trade on emotions and hearsay instead of data. But there's a solution. StockCharts.com, the leading online charting tool that experts and disciplined traders have used for over 20 years. You can do the same. Go to StockCharts.com for a free 30-day trial. Pick the stocks and indexes you want to track, review historical data, spot the trends, then make informed decisions and invest with confidence. Go to StockCharts.com and start your free trial today.
Today is the day. Today is the day you empty your garage and closets of your old tech. Today is the day you hang up on that dial-up modem. Today is the day you tell that old GPS to get lost. Because while Staples recycles old tech for free each and every day, today during Staples Free Tech Take Back, Rewards members get $10 in Staples Rewards when they recycle their tech. Cut the cord on your old tech and recycle it at Staples. N617. Limit 1 reward per month. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/recycling for details.
You are with WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
Well, she probably didn't expect him.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW. And we are talking to a number of folks here. We are talking to DeLois Leapheart from Adoption Option. We also have with us Kim Rowan. She is with It Takes a Village and Adoption Option. And Bob Ennis from the Ennis Center for Children about foster care and adoption in this region and this country. And I have to ask all of you, given the big shortage of foster parents, is this something new or has this been historic in terms of finding foster parents?
It's historic. It has been a challenge, especially for older kids. The older the child is, the less number of people interested in providing foster care or adopting that child. Everybody gets excited about adopting a healthy infant who just left the hospital. But as the children grow older, as Bob referenced, they've experienced more trauma. As Kim referenced, the more trauma they experience, the more challenging behaviors that you might see. And so the shortage of foster parents has been a problem as long as I've been in child welfare.
Is there help for a foster parent in dealing with some of those issues?
Absolutely. And there are a variety of resources. And the foster parent is working with a foster care worker, and that foster care worker collaborates with that parent. How can I help? What can I do? How can I assist? So yes, there are multiple resources.
Kim, you're a foster parent. What was it like for you? What is it like for you?
Well, not a current foster parent, but when I was fostered, I decided that I didn't want to take teens, which the foster parent has the choice to decide, do I want to just take boys? Do I want to take girls? What I took medically fragile children. So I went to Detroit, I went to Grand Rapids, I went to the U of M, and that's what I chose to do. And I think my license maybe went up to 10 or 11. We all know, if your parents and your listeners know, that if you're a parent of a teen, it's not an easy trip, teenagers. So to take a teenager that has some trauma, they're going to act out, and we need people who can understand how to deal with teenagers, and that needs support. You need to support. So my hat is off to any foster parent that takes the teen years, because they are the difficult years in general. But then when we take a teen that maybe has been in the foster care system for 2 or 3 years, and I work at a mental health facility, I see a lot of teenagers in the foster care system that come in with mental health issues, but then they stay because there's no place to put them. So our state needs to maybe emphasize the teen years, and a lot of our facilities, our residential facilities, closed. And some of these kids just can't be in a foster home because they're going to run away. Their issues are more than a foster parent can maybe deal with in a home atmosphere, but yet there's no place to put them. So that is a big deficit for our state. Our teens need to understand how to be a child before they're 18 and age out, and we ask them to be adult, because it's not going to work.
Bob, from your standpoint?
They're both absolutely right that teenagers are more difficult. I made a terrible mistake back in 1991 because I'd opened Ennis, an alternative to residential care back in '83, and I only took adolescents. And we had a variety of homes, and then I was asked to go to Detroit, believe it or not, to deal with AIDS babies, and I started taking younger children. Then all of a sudden, my culture changed. I believe that the fear of adolescence is not as grave as some people see it. In fact, some foster parents we have now only take adolescents, and now we're moving into the department that's only going to recruit for adolescents. Not that we're not going to take younger kids, but we're going to have a complete section that only recruits for adolescents, because we need to have them. Foster parents to do that work, and it is difficult. But little kids are difficult as well, because we have more mental health issues now, at least more identified, in behaviors than we had years ago when we opened. Mental health is a grave issue for us right now, for all of us servicing these children and families.
All right. Well, I want to remind everybody again that Foster Care Family Celebration and Dance, National Foster Care Month, going on the month of May. Kim, 1 to 4 p.m. at Bay Valley Resort, May 3rd.
Absolutely free too. It's just come and enjoy the time and what's being offered, and the DJ, and absolutely free.
And also education. You can learn about being a foster parent, right? Very
yes,
good.
you can.
Kim, DeLois, Bob, you're doing God's work. Thanks much. And we appreciate you being with us today.
Thank you for having us.
I hope you have a great event. We'll remind everybody again. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
You're welcome. Thanks, DeLois. Take care now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And we will take a break, come back, and just remind you of the event coming up on the 13th.
We
Art.
make pioneer
Art.
ships for you and your family. Proud to be found in
I just wanted to say I'm so Pause.
And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Your day starts before the sun rises. Once your boots hit the ground, you head out to a field, a barn, or a tractor. As stewards of the land, you know anything worth doing is worth doing right. At Farm Bureau Insurance, we've always believed in and practiced this same philosophy. From heaving bales and weaning calves to spring seeding and fall harvests, it's all about an honest day's work. Knowing your insurance provider is rooted in Michigan offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Find your coverage in Vassar, Millington, and Mayville. Call Denny Miller at 989-823-8493.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Frankenmuth Aerial Park. You're going to get half off of an adventure at the Frankenmuth Aerial Park. It's usually $43, but you are getting it for just $21.50. Fly through the air, swing through the trees, and challenge yourself on the aerial obstacle course. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, there is a course level for you. Head over to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Inflation has pushed up the cost of just about everything, which means if you bought life insurance a few years ago, it might not be enough to protect your family today. Now is the time to get the insurance you need at a price you can afford. In a hurry? Don't worry. Call Select Quote now and get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's right. You can get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam in under an hour.
Call Select Quote at 1-800-613-8990. That's 1-800-613-8990. Or go to SelectQuote.com now and get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's 1-800-613-8990. Or go to SelectQuote.com now. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. Just a reminder of the event coming up Saturday, May 13th. That's this Saturday, Foster Care Family Celebration and Dance. It's part of National Foster Care Month. There'll be family fun activities. Foster and adoptive families will be on site to talk to you. There'll be a DJ Sean Doyle. And you can learn about being a foster care parent. There'll be crafts, speakers, snacks, community resources. It's absolutely free. You can give a free will offering if you wish. 1 to 4 p.m. in the ballroom at Bay Valley Resort. So if you've ever thought about it, you can get to meet these folks that I talked to this morning from It Takes a Village, Adoption Option Incorporated in the Ennis Center. And they can tell you what it's like to be a foster parent and an adoptive parent, or what's the phrase I'm looking for? kinship adoptive or foster parent, where it's someone who you're related to. So there's an opportunity for you. If you've ever thought about it, this would be the place to be to find out more information and learn what it's like to be a foster parent. You bet. I mentioned at the beginning of the hour that I attended the ribbon cutting for the Women's Heart Clinic inside MCVI on Washington and Saginaw. It's run by Ascension. And a number of Ascension doctors were there, including Dr. Nishta Sareen, who we've talked to a couple of times on this program about women's heart issues. I had a particular reason for going with my wife's passing from a heart attack. I know the importance of women recognizing what the symptoms are, and women don't have the same symptoms as men. And it's important to know what the potentials are. So if you ever have any symptoms you can't understand, never had them before, don't waste any time. Make an appointment and see these cardiologists who specialize in women's heart health. It has come to the forefront because for a long time, any of the research and anything that was done on heart health was almost exclusively around men. It's only in recent years that women's heart health has come to the forefront. And these fine folks at Ascension and the doctors in the various clinics around the state, and there are now 4 of these, and they're going to open a few more, have focused on women's heart health. It's the leading cause of death in women. But yet we never heard about it very much. It was one of those things that was just overlooked because it was always men, men, men. So if you're having any symptoms, if you're not sure what they are or what they're about, go to your doc or make an appointment here at the Women's Health Clinic. All right. We're going to take our last break and come back and conclude the Art Lewis Show for today. Tell you what's ahead on Focus when we return.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do. But you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Comerica Park is the place to be on Saturday with a giveaway every Saturday home game. This Saturday, the first 15,000 fans get a pair of Javi Baez sunglasses presented by McLaren Health. Arrive early to get your sunglasses and enjoy the Miller Lite Home Run Happy Hour on the Comerica Landing with $5 food and drink specials. Get your tickets now at tigers.com.
Is your prostate secretly being destroyed without you knowing it? All the ads for these prostate pills like Super Beta Prostate, Saw Palmetto, ProstaStream, Prostagenics, and others want to know which pills work and which are garbage? Now you can. Get a free copy of the new guide, Prostate Secrets, that pulls back the curtain on the prostate pill industry. Learn what is really in these pills. Which pill has over 987 adverse event reports filed against it with the FDA? It's shocking. Learn the one food to avoid that is a prostate killer, and discover the 3 so-called health foods that destroy your prostate. Get your free copy at prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery, 5 important things to do to protect your prostate, and much more. Warning, this guide is controversial and may be offensive to some readers as it pulls no punches. So go to prostatesecrets.com. Prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com.
Tom Sullivan, weeknights at 7 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right. That'll do it for the Art Lewis Show for today. Back tomorrow with lots more coming up on Focus. We're going to learn about the senior center in senior services in Midland, I should say. But we have news first from CBS, the National and International Report. We'll have the local news for you, bringing you up to date on the region and the state. Then we will be back with Focus.
From the premier kitchen and bath gallery studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Steve Kathan, a member of Congress arrested today on federal criminal charges. New York Republican George Santos, who admitted lying about his past, faces charges that include wire fraud and money laundering. Legal analyst Jessica Levinson.
These wire fraud charges basically make him worse than the infamous Nigerian prince. He's saying to contributors, I need your money. Give to this 501c4, which is basically a PAC, and the PAC will help elect Santos. But when they get money, it's going to be used for Santos. We get the banking fraud.
We heard this morning from E. Jean Carroll, the writer who accused former President Trump of rape. Yesterday, a federal jury found Trump liable of sexual abuse and defamation, ordering him to pay her $5 million. She was on CBS Mornings.
Before the verdict came in, there was a concept of the perfect victim. The perfect victim always screams, and the perfect victim always goes to the police, and the perfect victim always writes it in their diary. And yesterday, they said there's not such a thing as a perfect victim.
Trump denied the allegations and said he has no idea who Carroll is. His attorneys plan to appeal the verdict. CBS's Sarah Ewald-Weiss tells us new economic numbers out today tell the story of stubborn inflation.
Consumer prices were up 0.4% last month, an acceleration from 0.1% seen in March. Prices were up 4.9% from a year ago, a continual easing from the year-over-year increases seen last year. Food prices were unchanged in April, but housing costs continue to tick up and energy costs went up slightly after decreasing in March.
The Biden administration will begin denying asylum to migrants who enter the country without first seeking protection in another country. And it plans to open more hubs to deal with migrants, with more expected now that pandemic restrictions under Title 42 are about to expire. CBS's Manuel Bojorquez with more from the border.
The crackdown in downtown El Paso has already begun. Law enforcement and city officials have been clearing out street encampments.
I can't go back to where I came from because they could kill my son.
Gregorio Felipe fled Guatemala with his 5-year-old son Isidro. He said he was being extorted and was told if he didn't pay the money, they would kill him and his son. He had to leave his 3 other kids and wife behind. Officials who are already struggling to house migrants in shelters are dealing with an influx of uncertainty.
And checking Wall Street, the Dow is down 96 points. The S&P and NASDAQ are higher. This is CBS News.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks. And how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your framework with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
I switched to Boost Mobile and got a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Want to know the best part?
It was free?
Nope.
The fact that it's on America's largest 5G networks?
Nope. It's the ding.
Oh yeah, love the ding.
Right? It's all about the ding. It's the dingarooski, the dingaroner, the ring-a-ding-ding.
Unleash your power to save with Boost. Get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone when you switch. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power.
And the ding.
Limited time offer. New customers only. Available on select networks. 5G not available everywhere. One device per line. Tax excluded. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
63 degrees and sunny at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Lilac Esch. Charges have been brought against a 42-year-old Saginaw man after he allegedly led police on a high-speed chase in the wrong direction last week. Patrick Mitchell was arraigned Monday on charges of felonious assault, malicious destruction of police property, and third-degree fleeing or eluding police. Mitchell allegedly fled when state police troopers attempted to stop him on I-75 in Buena Vista Township around 1:45 a.m. on Thursday. Police say he drove south in the northbound lanes, eventually crossing into Genesee County. During the chase, 911 received a call from an 18-year-old male passenger who said he was being held against his will. Mitchell was arrested when officers immobilized his vehicle at the Clio rest area. Officials say Mitchell will not face a kidnapping charge since the 18-year-old passenger would not cooperate with the police. Starting next Monday, the Michigan Department of Transportation will begin work at several locations to apply crack seal treatments. The included areas along M25, M81, M53, M46, M24, M15, M54, and I-75. The work will span Genesee, Sanilac, Huron, Tuscola, and Lapeer counties. Traffic will be maintained with traffic regulators. Lane closures and traffic shifts will be required in some areas. MDOT says the work will improve long-term pavement conditions, extending the life of those roads. Work is expected to wrap up along those routes in July. Next Year Automotive has opened registration for the Generation Next Embedded Coding Scholarship Competition. The program is designed to recognize, inspire, and support future local talent in the Great Lakes Bay region. The competition offers up to 5 multi-year $2,000 scholarships with a potential co-op internship offer for high school students graduating either this year or in 2024. All applicants must register by May 15th. Registration and full details are at generationnextcoding.com. WSGW News Time is 11:07.
Liberty Bridge is your gateway to work, school, downtown, and the Midland Street Business District. Save time and fuel by taking Liberty to your destination. Avoid congestion at other local bridges and experience Bay City's newest, most reliable bridge, brought to you by local union workers and Bay City Bridge Partners. Tolling begins soon. For your passport to the lowest rates, create your account online today at BayCityBridgePartners.com or visit the Bay City Bridge Partners Customer Service Center at 300 Center Avenue in downtown Bay City.
Spring has sprung, and we're officially ready to rock at Shamrock Dairy Bar in Bay City. Shamrock Dairy Bar has everything all ice cream lovers are looking for. 5 different types of sundaes, hand-dipped and soft-served ice cream, floats, shakes, and more. On top of all of those delicious favorites, we're excited to introduce the first Shamrock signature item on our menu, our Shamrock Sundae. So come, satisfy that sweet tooth at Shamrock Dairy Bar in Bay City, located next to Ideal Party Store on Johnson Street.
WSGW News Time is 11:08. A cash reward is now being offered for tips in the murder of Ascension Hospital neurosurgeon Dr. Devin Hoover in Detroit. The 53-year-old was found shot to death in his Boston Edison district home on April 23rd. Now a $1,000 reward is being offered for information in the case. Detroit police have not said very much about their investigation. A person of interest was taken into custody in the days after the murder, but was later released. A new report examines security changes at Oxford schools after the tragic November 2021 shooting that left 4 students dead and 7 people seriously injured. Michigan's news source Tim Knight has the details.